Hello, everyone.
Hey, Bryce, how you
Hello.
feeling?
How are you guys doing?
Wow.
Good Memorial Day weekend, everyone?
Yeah.
Good. Blessed. Great. Any fun stories? Anyone have something really cool to share?
Do you have any?
Nah, I don't. That's why I'm kind of leaning on you guys.
We want your story.
Me?
Yes.
Come on, guys. You guys. We don't talk about you guys enough, man.
All right, we saw the question. So, what exciting things have happened in your life?
I've been super excited for training camp or OTAs, excuse me. This was I think it's beginning of phase 3 is always a really fun thing. You kind of get, you come back, it's cool. Phase 1, the rookies come in, you get drafted. And it's it's a filling out process, and you see it on air. I think the first day of phase 3 is kind of it's like that mini Christmas before training camp. You're actually playing football again. It's full speed. It's always fun watching the rookies and the young guys just kind of you start to see it. They see it for the first time. You see them adapt. You see them just coming to assimilate with a team. So I think for all of us, it's a long off season. And you miss the game, so it's always fun coming back to full speed stuff.
Those young guys, we saw Mitchell Evans make a pretty cool catch to end the practice. T-Mac obviously caught a bunch of passes. What have you noticed about this rookie group of pass catchers?
Yeah, it's a really dynamic group. Them coming in and bringing great energy, great depth. Again, this was kind of the first day where you get to see it live and, see it in 11 on 11 and 7 on 7, but even on air, you could tell. And all guys that really, they want to work, they want to do better. They've asked me a ton of questions, asked the guys in their room a ton of questions. Obviously, the rookies have those rookie meetings and stay a little longer, and everyone's been telling me how attentive people have been, how locked in everyone's been. So, it's great for us. Again, just getting new energy, new guys that can come contribute to the team.
Bryce, Canales talks about building the offense year after year. How much new stuff is in now that you weren't working on this time last year?
Yeah, I think it's just being able to build off of the foundation we laid last year. Around this time last year, obviously it's a new system, new offense, so we're getting the basics. We're ironing out the first, the day one first stuff, and just the basics of the offense. And now, year 2, we get to start so much further ahead. A lot of returning guys, a lot of familiar faces, and also that's a lot of kudos to the guys coming in, the free agents, the rookies that are coming in, and for us, and a lot of guys, it's let's start at a master's level. Let's make sure that we're more advanced. And for them, this is their first time in the system, and you wouldn't be able to tell by a lot of the guys. So that speaks to their testament, their hard work, and it's exciting to see us kind of start a lot more ahead this year.
Are there particular things you're excited to add to this thing based on last year?
Yeah, I think that within the system, there's so many wrinkles and so many little things that build off of each other. That the coaching staff has done a great job and has had a lot of success in throughout the years. And obviously in Seattle, they had a ton of time together, and you could kind of see a lot of stuff form year 2, year 3, year 4, all those that time. And there's a lot of stuff that we were able to talk about and mention last year that was all right. I don't know if we're there. Yeah, I don't know if we're there. And for us, it's exciting for us to be able to now kind of have a chance, opportunity to grow towards that, to start a lot further so that we can reach all those little wrinkles. So there's definitely a lot of stuff that we're excited about.
T-Mac shared with us draft night that you had lobbied on his behalf with Dave and Dan. What did you see in that workout you had with him over the off season that made you kind of want to stand on the table for him?
Yeah, well, I've seen him. I've played against him in high school. I've seen him and followed his career ever since high school. So I've always, from whether it's playing against him or from afar, I was always someone that had a ton of respect for. I loved his game. I'd been around him before that too. Heard great things. Loved his work ethic. Had seen him live. So just again, I had a ton of exposure. So I was always kind of following, always kind of looking, and obviously just us having that opportunity was I'm super grateful. Obviously, I trusted Coach Canales and Dan with the decision. They were going to do what was best for the team, and they obviously felt that was what was best. And obviously for me, it was music to my ears. But again, that's something that I'm super excited about, and now working with him and being with him day to day, again, just wants to get all the things right, asks a ton of questions. It's coming back, communicating after not only missed throws, but after completions, after stuff on air they were getting right. All right, was this, is this that I see myself doing that over and over? How is this? Was that where we're thinking? So just that level of communication, that's something that, especially for a young guy, it's such a pro thing to do. So I'm super excited.
When you're getting ready to do that, to lobby for a guy, how much is beyond the on-the-field stuff? And it's like, no, we sort of got along really well just on a personal level.
Yeah, I just want to share my experiences. I'm grateful for for Dan and Coach Canales wanted to hear that, wanted to hear me out and hear what I have to say. And again, they want to hear and get intel on all the guys that they can have. And again, I've been around them before. I had seen them, so I just had some experiences to share. So I just want to do everything I can to communicate that. And again, they're the guys who make the decision. But we're super happy that he's here.
Give us an example of what lobbying is. What would you, say I'm Dan Morgan, what would you have come and said and told me?
Yeah, no, again, they want to do everything. They asked me about a ton of guys. Anyone that I had, anyone that I had played with. Guys that they looked at and they were scouted. Obviously, they were obviously on their board and they were interested, regardless of what I had to say. But they knew the history and the background. So, they wanted to hear me out. They wanted to hear what I had to say. And we talked about a lot of guys. But yeah, I'm super grateful for where we're at.
Bryce, I know it's early on, but what sort of maturation have you seen from Excel since last year?
Yeah, I think you just see the comfortability. That year one to year two, again, second year in the system, understanding how the league is. Him being able to, to be healthy, to have an off season, to get through all the stuff, to come back healthy. He put a lot of work in to do that in the offseason that obviously no one sees. But if you're around here and you're around him, the work he put in. So just seeing the experience kind of comes to play, and it definitely shows in the confidence, in the production, in practice. Taking a lot more of a leadership role, too, in the wide receiver room. Again, a lot of young guys that are trying to come in and learn the system, and now year two, he's doing a lot of directing out there. We have different formations or different routes. You hear him out there communicating, hey, I'm on, I got this. Hey, I'm off, you're here. So, you just see him jumping into that role. It's great to see.
Bryce, you spoke about this. Level, can you see when, like, maybe some of the rookies are a little bit thinking too much? And can you see a guy like Xavier and you kind of notice that he has it and he's not thinking, he's just reacting? Like, is that something that you're able to sort of ascertain and sort of know where everybody's at?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's it's part of the process. Everyone's first day today, really, for the you're going to see a little bit of it's human nature. It's a new environment. You figure stuff out, and then it's not just a receiver thing. I think it's everyone. The more experience and the more reps you can get in a system through practice and training camp for sure, but especially game reps, you're going to feel more comfortable. It's it's just human nature when you're competing at the highest level. When you're thinking about, what's my assignment, what's my alignment on both sides of the ball, those little things can add up. And the more reps you have, the more comfortable you see someone be able to work on and focus on the details, them to be able to play fast. And X has done a great job, and that doesn't just come naturally too. He's done a great job of, obviously he had the reps, but he put the work in, he made sure he made those reps count. So I'm super excited for his growth.
Bryce, you spoke about this just from a collective standpoint on offense, but from an individual standpoint, to enter an offseason for the first time in the league, being able to run the same system you did the year before, what has that done for you as you enter this program?
Yeah, it's been great. It's been great, again, just being able to start at a higher level in the offseason, being able to focus on growth rather than learning, focus on knowing what's expected, knowing exactly the things that you've done well and you have to continue to do well, things to improve on. You look at all those things and you kind of just have that goal and that goalpost throughout the offseason, and you have things that you could target to work on. You have the conversations with the coaches, and you know what to expect, and because of that you have such a more clear direction. When you're have a new system, it's kind of you just want to overall get better. You don't know because, you're not 100% sure how the experience is going to go, and you don't know exactly how it plays out. But having this opportunity, it's been great.
Dave said something to the effect of he wants the offense to kind of look like Bryce Young? You feel you're getting some ownership in what you guys want to do and how it suits you in the offense?
Yeah, for sure, and I really appreciate the coaching staff for that. Again, that comes with trust, and again, just us being able to have more experience and time together, us having more banked reps, as I've felt more and more comfortable throughout last year, and then now going into year 2 in this system, and then us, continuing to build our relationship and grow and have more, more of those shared thoughts within the entire offensive staff. It's definitely something that I'm grateful for. And, for us and for me, I want to, we all have that same goal. For us, we just want to win. Offensively, we want to score points, and then as a team, we want to do whatever it takes to win. And we all know that that's our goal, no matter what it looks like. And because of that, it makes it easy for us to work together.
Bryce, what's the level of confidence you feel from Coach Canales and you now compared to, 2-3 last year?
Yeah, again, you just have so much more time and so much more banked reps. The more time you have to grow, you get to be in the room, you get to hear and learn and see their perspective. You try to bank those reps throughout training camp and OTAs, but especially throughout a whole season. The more growth you have, it's always better. So I'm super grateful for that where we are.
Bryce, Coach said Tommy's going to be out for a little bit after having surgery. How much of a addition to the offense did he become over the second half of last year for you?
Yeah, he was huge. He's going to continue to be huge. Tommy is a super hard worker. Someone who brings so much intensity and ferocity to the position, to the team, to us as a group, as a unit. Yeah, I know we're expecting him to be back. He's going to be a huge part of the offense moving forward too.
Did you happen to catch any of Xavier's Kentucky Derby content? What were your thoughts?
Yeah, he told me about it. He told me about it before he went. He was super excited too. I know, he has horses and all that stuff, and he has a racehorse, so I know he was excited to do it. But it was cool to see him, just see him happy out there, out in his element and somewhere different. So yeah, it was fun.
Dave actually talked about him seeing Xavier smiling more this spring. Do you think that he got to a point last year where now he's battling injuries? He had a couple drops. Was he at a point where he's kind of getting in a bad place that way?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that at all. Again, a kid who works super hard and super mentally tough. Especially rookie year, him coming in a first-round pick. It's a lot. He obviously got thrown in the fire as a team. Obviously, there were a lot of ups and downs, and for him to be able to, no matter what. Whatever the outside noise was, no matter what happened on Sunday, for him to work the way he did, come in and day out. And also, obviously you guys only get to see the Sunday and maybe a couple of practice, but throughout the locker room, he always had a great attitude and great energy, still does. He's someone who really just brings up the room. So again, for him, we have all the confidence in the world in him. He means a lot to us as a unit, and I'm excited to watch him keep growing.
Bryce, I know you've only faced the defense once, but how does Trevor Wallace look coming off injury?
Yeah, he looks good. Again, it's great for him to be back, to be out there, watch him moving around, and the entire defense. It's a lot of new faces. But for day one especially, it was a lot of great communication going out there. We had some formation stuff, we had some motion stuff, and especially day one, a lot of new people. Sometimes it's hard. You see a lot of MEs, but I didn't see really any out there. They did a great job of communicating. They make some plays out there. They're flying around. They have a lot of confidence. During the phase 3 mini camp. Training camp, it's like you guys are at war. You're trying to go up against each other. It's offense versus defense. But at the end of the day, as long as we're pushing each other, the Panthers are winning. So, I'm super confident in them.
What specifically does T-Mac bring to this offense and to you that you didn't have last year?
I think it's just, I think every new face brings something. Obviously there's I trust in the coaching staff and the way that we're going to use him, along with use all the rookies and all the new additions. And I think that's a great part of what this offseason is for. Again, this was day one of phase 3, day one of competition. So, we want to get all the young guys, all the new guys doing everything. We want them running every route. We want them at every position, just to see where people's strengths are. And I think that's a great thing about this staff. They do a great job evaluating and putting people in positions to help the team. I think right now is a time where we're figuring out what's everyone's role. And everyone has a great work ethic, great attitude about it. So I'm excited to see how everyone grows.
Bryce, he does have a crazy catch radius. That seems to be one of your strengths too, kind of putting the ball where defense can't get it, but offense can. Is that something you've noticed in your time with
Yeah, for sure. That's something that definitely has it jumped out on film throughout all the draft stuff, and in versus air, and even today, you could definitely see that. Super smooth, has super natural hands. Like you said, great catch radius. Super friendly to the quarterback, which is always nice. So, again, we're with all the young guys, everyone who's new. We want to put them in as many situations and as many positions as possible. See where everyone's strengths are. So I'm super excited just to see where it goes.
Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate you guys.